Hi folks, welcome to another video on CodeTutor. In the previous video, we tried to challenge the idea that AI will replace coders. Today, we are going to go through a real experiment of dark software factory. There is an organization called as StrongDM, and they have actually piloted this approach of software dark factory. So they basically started with two extreme rules outset when they wanted to go about this software dark factory concept. One, the software developers will not be writing any code. Two, software developers will not be even reviewing the code. The whole idea is to remove the humans completely from the loop of reading the code, writing the code, reviewing the code. These statements might look like very simple statements, but the implications are really huge. This is not a simple copy paste change. It is about building system behavior and validating the system behavior. And the primary criterion is a system behaving correctly and as intended? So what are the different components of this so-called software dark factory? The first thing is spec. What are spec? In a traditional sense, we can think of this like a PRD, that is product requirement document. But here the specs are very detailed. They basically define what the system should do, what are the criterias, failure criterias, what are the system boundaries. It needs to be as much detailed as possible. Ensure that you define, design, and author specs in a detailed manner so that agent can understand what needs to be built. You can also add the why part, the business part, why you want to add a certain behavior in a particular manner. Most often than not, it should contain why and what part. Since you are not at all going to write the code or even review the code, how do you want to really validate how the system is behaving, whether it is behaving properly or not? And that is where the scenarios come into picture. Scenarios are not like your unit test cases. Scenarios are basically a way of telling these are things that I expect the system to accomplish, the behavioral part. And the scenarios are not part of same repository where you are keeping your code base. If you keep the scenarios placed in the same place where the agents are writing the code or committing the code, agents most likely will game the development process. I mean, we have seen many times scenarios where unit tests are written just assert true without actually doing anything in the unit tests. If humans can do this, agents can do this, why take the chance by keeping the scenarios in the same repository? So think of it like a behavioral holdout that you separate from the code base. So you have scenarios, you have specs. Both of these things are defined by the humans, and that's it. Everything else is done by the agents. Agents will read the spec and they will start actually implementing code. You are not going to even look at the code semantically. The code is almost non-existent to you. All you are interested in is behavioral part and behavioral validation part. Agents will run in a continuous loop, feedback loop, trying to see whether it is meeting the specification and whether it is passing the validation from the behavioral part. And they will continuously self-improve until and unless they reach a certain level of satisfaction. Now, once again, I am using the word satisfaction here, not unit test code coverage or saying so many test cases are passing. Here, the validation or proof of validation is more probabilistic. It is not a binary true or false. So these are not like your green, red metric of unit test code coverage. These are more like probabilistic metric, basically telling how often system is passing the expected behavior. Other than that, you need another important infrastructure to be able to accomplish this, and that is digital twin universe, DTU. What do you mean by DTU and why do you really need it? Softwares are written not in a vacuum. They are interacting with various systems. You need to have a Google authentication authorization flows. Maybe you want to have access to the GitHub. You need to have some kind of a service, Okta service. And when multiple agents start running and implementing tests and seeing that whether they are passing or failing, they do this at a much higher rate, and they might continuously start hitting these services, and you might actually start reaching rate limiter capacity. And if that starts happening, it is a big bottleneck. Now, how do you come out of this particular bottleneck? You build your own replica of those services. You will have your own Okta, you will have your own Google authentication service, you will have your own GitHub service, anything, so that your agents can work without worrying about the rate limit wall. And that is what the digital twin service means. To give you an analogy of digital twin universe, think of it like what these big aviation companies do. When they are trying to test their designs, they don't really take the newly changed design to the actual skies and test the aeroplane. What they do is they build a wind tunnel where they can actually test design change, and that is what the digital twin universe means in a crude sense. To explain the relationship between the specs, agents, and behaviors, you can think of it like this. Specs are like contracts between the spec writers and the agents. Specs decide what part and to extent why part. Agents will take care of the how part. Then what about the scenarios? Think of them like external auditors or third party inspectors. They don't really care how things are built. All they care about is a specification, the blueprint, and whether the system is working as per the blueprint that was given to them during the audit. How part is not really necessary. So in a way, if you can validate the behavior of the system very well and the behavior of the system is satisfactory, then there is really no need to review the code. That is just semantics. So you have specs, you have scenarios, you have DTU, that is digital twin universe, and then you have autonomous agents. And these basically make the dark software factory work. After hearing all this, you might be thinking, well, humans are still in the loop here. They are defining the specs and they are defining the scenarios. Then is it really a dark factory? Well, as of now, this is the level of automation that we reach in the level 5 of software automation. At this particular level, humans are not writing the code. It is the agents, AI agents, who are writing the code, but humans are the critical thinkers. They basically write the specs. They have to understand the complete end-to-end application, complete end-to-end flow. What is the expected behavior? The specifications will have to be written in such a manner that they complement each and everything in the scenarios. And the scenarios that are being defined, they have to be meaningful and complementary to the specs that are being written. Because if they are not complementary, then agent will get confused. And then you need people who will build the necessary digital infrastructure for this to operate. You just heard something called DTU. You need people who understand the probabilistic nature of behavioral outcomes. So this is completely different from the traditional CI/CD flow. This requires a completely new architecture thinking about how softwares will be written, will be managed, and will be maintained. And the old traditional roles like a software developer, lead will not hold true at all. Here you need scenario spec writer, behavioral validator, or something like simulation engineer or simulation designer, somebody who needs to have a specialization in agent orchestration or designing the agent orchestration. You understand where am I going? The software engineers will be there, but their roles and what they will be doing, the responsibilities will change, because they will not be expected to write the code. They will be just expected to operate at much higher level. So if I try to do a very quick one-to-one comparison, in a traditional software development world, humans write the code, humans review the code, they write the unit tests, the CI/CD pipelines are written by them. But in case of software dark factory, agents write the code, agents review the code. You don't have the concept of unit tests. You have scenarios and behavioral driven outcomes. You don't have CI/CD pipelines. You have DTUs, that is digital twin universe, which basically help you to finally say that whether application is working as per the expectation. So this change is not incremental, it is completely architectural and cultural. The people will have to start thinking differently, the organizations will have to start thinking differently. So this so-called dark software factory looks like a almost holy grail of software development automation. But what we will have a look at in the next video is what does it take to build this, and our organizations and people are ready to build these kind of systems and shift in the way of working, and what are the bottlenecks and how to overcome them, or is it even possible to overcome them, and what is the effort that would be required. So stay tuned for the next video. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.